Okay, welcome to the Historic Landmark Commission. May we have the roll call, please?
Chairman LaBiche is absent. Commissioner Avery is absent. Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner Berube is absent. Commissioner Crawford.
Present.
Commissioner Goodness.
Present.
Commissioner Kelly.
Present.
Commissioner Macon.
Here.
Commissioner Provo is absent. Commissioner Segee.
Here.
Commissioner Templeton.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone's had an opportunity to review the minutes. Is there a motion to approve or any corrections?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, the first one on our agenda is PZ 2023-229.
Good afternoon. Christy Williams is requesting permission to construct a circular drive, walkway, deck, and new steps at her home located at 2485 Liberty. Ms. Williams states that she no longer feels she can safely navigate backing onto the busy street from her drive. Included in your packet is a letter from Ms. Williams and a number of examples of circular drives within the district. The proposed circular drive would be 8 foot wide and tie into the existing 4-foot sidewalk located along Liberty, making a total of 12 foot of concrete in front of the home. Examples provided by Ms. Williams reference properties with attached portiches appropriate for the design of the structure, and to drives that mostly predate the adoption of the second phase of the Historic District Ordinance in 1997. While it should be noted that Liberty and Laurel are one-way streets and tend to have high-speed traffic, in the last 10 years, the Commission has heard 5 requests for circular drives, and all were denied except for one on Rusk, where the drive extended through the side yard and not in front of the main structure itself. Staff recommends denial of the proposed circle drive as the ordinance discourages parking in front yards, as well as the tie into the existing sidewalk could potentially block pedestrian foot traffic. The proposed deck and new steps would be constructed of wood with 3 steps from the grass to the deck, and a railing would be constructed around the deck with 4x4 posts and 2x2 42-inch spindles. Ms. Williams states that the existing brick steps are original to the home and have deteriorated greatly and are not safe for use. She has also proposed a walkway from the requested circle drive to the new entry. While staff has recommended denial of the circle drive, installing a walkway from the deck to the sidewalk would be appropriate, and staff would support this action. Staff recommends denial of the proposed driveway in the front yard and approval of the request for the walkway, deck, and steps with the following conditions. 1, all applicable permits and inspections be obtained through the Building Codes Department. 2, the walkway tie into the existing sidewalk and not into an additional circle drive. The home is not listed in the Spare Beaumont survey. So a number of examples for you. And additionally, if you'll recall, on your desk is a sheet that says Plan B and C that after we go through the PowerPoint, I'd like to look at with you that was submitted after the fact. On the screen, you'll see the subject property. This is the view as you're driving past from Liberty. This is the existing drive to the rear garage. You can see the sidewalk to the left there. This is the proposed location of the new driveway where it would come around from the front of her property. This is the best picture I could really get of where the proposed deck, new steps, and railing would be. So it's kind of inset into that little cove of the entry. This was the original submittal. You can see where the existing drive would come up, where the sidewalk is. You can see the new concrete, creating a total of 12 foot of concrete at the front there, with the new approach to the left side of the property. Our staff recommendation was based off of this drawing here that was provided. Later on, we received Plan B and Plan C that were provided to you up there. I know today we are voting on what was originally submitted, but we can have discussion on Plan Bs and Cs if that is something the commission would like to consider that staff can visit with Ms. Williams about later.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions of staff? So what is the difference between Plan B and C compared to the original one? It's the
So-
driveway?
Essentially, the original one you can see here ties into the existing sidewalk to where it creates that large frontage of concrete where you see the walkway going to the proposed new deck. Plan B, you'll see there's a small separation, about 2 feet from the existing sidewalk to that new driveway. So it just kind of insets the curve a little more. And then Plan C, sorry about that. Plan C, you'll see is a individual second driveway that has a hammerhead where you would pull in, and back out, where it doesn't connect across the front of the structure. So it'd essentially be another driveway on the opposite side of the structure.
Is that Plan B we're talking about?
Plan C.
C, got
Plan
it.
C. Plan B is still a circle drive. It just has a space between the sidewalk and the drive. And the applicant is present.
Okay.
In regards to Plan C, I know this is not one we're voting on today, but just a general question. Are there other homes with similar driveways?
Yes, there are a couple on Liberty that do have the hammerheads like this. It's typically in the existing drive, though. It's not a second drive that's been added.
Okay.
I have a question. Why did the staff turn this down?
The ordinance discourages parking in front of front yards and structures, and there's been a number of circle drive requests over the years. And again, the only one that's been approved was the one that did not immediately go in front of the structure. It went to a side yard. So in order to keep encouraging with the ordinance where we prevent parking in front yards and prevent parking in front of structures, when you create a circle drive,
So you discouraged the circle drives. I see.
Just for clarification, are we still voting on the original one and these would be later?
so today, what's on the agenda and what we have to vote for today was the original submittal.
Okay,
Should you feel inclined to encourage item B or C, you can't vote on it today, but if, with commission's consent, if y'all want to say staff can review that, staff can review it at a later
Okay.
date.
okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions of staff? Okay, is the applicant in the audience? Yes, ma'am. If you'll come forward and give us your name and address, please.
Yes, I'm Christy Williams, and I live at the 2485 house. I am a little frustrated because I started this in June, and I put in at the right time, but somehow there wasn't the staff to approve it, so that it was bumped to where I had to wait till July, and then July came, and there wasn't a forum, and an hour before it was bumped again. And so now I didn't realize till I got the staff review that the tie-in would be a problem. So, I mean, even at the time, I spoke with some of the board people after the last session and said, I'm thinking about maybe separating it from the sidewalk. I'm very flexible. That's not a concern. I would like to be able to review Plan B. And if that can't satisfy you, maybe we can kick into Plan C, but I hate to keep putting it off. So I just thought I would let you know, this is where I got approval from the board back in '93 to be able to be a counseling center. This was approved as a business when I first bought it in '93. And I was there in November, and in a matter of a few months, there was inadequate parking. And so quickly, it was like a God thing. 2 doors down, 2431 came available. Look at the wonderful parking. So I paid cash for that, paid cash for this. So this is my counseling center. I can walk to work. If you notice, it has a drive circle. So I'm used to, it has 2 drives. It has this side and that side on this one piece of property. So what happened is in March of '93, this year, I have had an episode of Guillain-Barré syndrome. That's what started all this is I lost this. I couldn't swallow. I'd been on a tube for 3 months. I had to learn I couldn't smile. Anyway, I was down in the hospital, Baylor, in St. Eve for 3 weeks this month, this year. Anyway, I'm recovering. I'm able to work. I'm working full-time again. I'm still I'm off the tube, so I can now eat, but I have to still learn how to speak. And the main thing too is that I started with the hearing problem back in November, and I'm still working on the hearing. Is not as sharp as it used to be. My locomotive movements are good. I hope my brain is still good. It's just this right here. But what I've had is in my commission to you, or my request to you is, I do not feel safe at all backing out on this street. This is a very busy street. It's not like it was 30 years ago. And it's kind of like a handicap situation. I'm not asking for parking. I'm asking to be able to drive when I leave. So I can back up and then I can leave forward. I'm looking at a circle drive.
Okay.
And Plan A is fine, but I'm almost leaning more to Plan B, which is enough to where I like aesthetics. I want to make it beautiful. And I've had 30 years of investment in the Oaks Historic. I love this place. I poured my money in, my time, my design. I want it to be beautiful. I feel it's beautiful myself. Inside's beautiful. And I could do some landscaping. I can see, anyway, I've just got some upkeep to do to make the place nice, but also to make it to where I can keep working, keep driving, and feel safe. I live alone, and so I need to be able to manage whatever I need to
Yes,
provide.
ma'am. Well, we're glad you're better, Miss Williams. Any questions of Miss Williams? Thank you.
Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
So you may have already said this. So you want to put the extra, either Plan C, the extra driveway or the circular driveway, because you're no longer using your business? You're going to be working out of just your home?
No. I work in my business. I live at my 2485. This is my home. But I just have one drive, and honestly, I like to have my car under the carport or in the garage. But my main concern is to be able to, I can back up, and then I can move where I can drive out forward. I can watch traffic, I can hear, I can see. I don't want to back out of my driveway. That's my main concern. And on this and all the other, I went through a lot of effort to show you, I think it's 12, in a 2 mile, it's actually 6 blocks, closer to 2 to 3 blocks. I have found all these pictures that I showed you. These are, these are other homes in the area that have circle drives. The one next door is a beautiful Stedman house. This is my next door neighbor. She's got a circle drive. And right around the corner to that on 9th Street, you may know the 2400 Broadway. That's a circle drive. They're everywhere. I took great notice to let you know. This is the next block down. I'm in 2400. This is 2500 block. We have another. It's 2 drives. One behind that is also. This is also the next block. There's lots where you can drive in and out, And I think that's reasonable for this busy street.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Williams.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor or opposition? Anyone who'd like to speak? Thank you, Miss Williams. Okay. Is there a discussion or a motion? And the question is the motion on the existing. Ma'am, you can sit down now. Thank you. Is there a discussion or a motion on the existing presentation that we have in front of us?
Well, Chair, I would say that I don't think merging the driveway into the sidewalk is appropriate. So as it's currently presented, I don't think that's would work. I mean, I agree with it. If somebody's walking down the sidewalk, they're basically walking on the proposed driveway. So I do see that as a problem. I do recall the Rusk Street conversation, and that's the only one I recall since I've been on the commission, and that was in the side yard. Do you happen to have the wording of what is stated in the ordinance about circular drive? Does it say anything about circular drives or just parking in front of
So
it?
it does not say circular drives. I can read you what it says.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that.
You're fine.
But Russ Street was on the side, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was an
Yeah.
empty lot
in the
next to the
front.
house and they owned
Right.
both, if I remember right.
Okay.
Okay. Parking in front or side yards. Within front or side yards, off-street surface parking is not permitted on grassed areas. Said grassed areas may not be paved or otherwise destroyed without a certificate of appropriateness. Vehicles may only be parked on paved surfaces.
Okay.
That's it?
It really doesn't address it. To me, that doesn't address.
She's not interested in parking it there. She got a garage. She's not gonna park it. She's gonna park it in the garage. She's only gonna use that to go in and out.
Sure.
Ms. Williams, could you consider a Plan D?
Yes,
What
sure.
about a hammerhead so that you don't have to, if you're looking at your home, keeping the existing driveway and adding the hammerhead here instead of adding a whole nother separate driveway over to the left side? Yeah, I can't tell.
Response to that.
Is that going to fit?
So you could park in your,
This is a hammerhead, right? This is my next door neighbor. I hate it. I don't want to have cars pulling in I don't like the look of that piece of concrete. This is,
but only you would be using it when you come
but
out
look
of
how
your
beautiful
garage.
that is.
Yes, it
That's
is.
beautiful. The circle drive's beautiful. I'm gonna landscape it, either Indian hawthorn, maybe another
Can you
flower
pass,
blooming. I like
you
blooming.
pass that around so that we could,
I think we had that in our packet. Yeah, it's in our
okay,
packet.
I
Your
thought it
It
was,
should be in your packets,
I
yeah.
thought it was a different one, I'm sorry.
I really do care about landscaping and aesthetics, and I just happen to notice my neighbor, it always looks like that. And I don't like it, I just want it to be very beautiful. If I can't have that, I would rather have, and this picture is this is my property. I'm getting rid of the fig, I'm gonna, if I have to put a little, it's expensive, but another path here. I'm even thinking that I'd put landscaping in front of it and make a little tie in there where I can go in and back and out. But again, it's gonna be a drive where if I park a car on this side, there's no protection to my vehicle, and I really kind of like my car. There's
Okay.
no carport, it would be in the open.
Right.
But I would much rather that.
Okay, Ms. Williams,
And
let
the
us
hammerhead.
visit up here up here. Yes, ma'am, and thank you. I
Thank you
think
for
you
your
answered that
answer.
question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so what are we going to do? Is there a motion to approve, deny, change? What does everybody want to do here?
I think we only have to consider what's
What's
in
present?
front of us and
Right?
bring it back,
We can
right?
make a recommendation, but it sounds very,
I make a motion
Voices.
that we deny the current plan as presented because of the conflict with the current sidewalk, but that we strongly urge her to come back with a Plan B or Plan C
okay.
proposal.
We do that at the same time.
Just one moment, ma'am. Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
A second, it's PC 22023-229.
Okay, we have a motion to deny PZ 2023-229 and a second.
May I say one thing?
Absolutely.
I think this was two things, to construct a circular drive and to add a deck. So maybe we need to say what we're, is it both parts that your motion is to deny or just the drive?
I'm denying the circular drive, but I have no objection.
So you want to change your motion?
Yes, I'm on regarding PZ 2023-229. I make a motion that we deny the circular drive, that we approve the constructions of the steps based on the staff recommendations, and that we strongly encourage the occupant to come back with Plan B or Plan C.
Okay, is there a second on that again? Okay,
Or D, another plan,
Or D.
just another plan, wouldn't that be better?
okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Okay, the motion is denied and approved on the certain points.
Now, with that being said, do you want to see if the request does not go in front of the structure, if we can come to a solution with either a hammerhead on the existing or something similar towards the rear, do you want to see it come back to you, or do you want to leave the review to staff?
I vote we leave it to staff.
Yes.
All in favor of leaving it to staff, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to file 2023, oops, wrong one, just a second. 266? No. I'm out of order. Which one's next? I'll let them do it. Okay, here we go. Next one is file 2023-266.
FUT Enterprises is requesting permission to rehabilitate the home at 2395 Broadway Street. The request is to eliminate a number of windows and entrance on the side of the structure that appears unnecessary and replacing the existing siding with a standard hardy siding providing a 7-inch exposure. Leveling, re-roofing, and painting the exterior of the structure to needlepoint navy with the trim to be classic light buff. The applicant is requesting to eliminate a door and porch on the east side of the home along with one window. So as we read through this one, I'm actually going to go through the slides with you so you can see, because there's a lot of moving parts to this one again. So on your screen, this is the existing structure. This is the proposed, so this is the left side of the structure. There's 2 entrances on the left, an entrance on the rear, and an entrance on the front. So they're requesting to eliminate this front entrance on the left, where they're going to remove the door, the deck, and the entry, and then towards the middle of the structure, you can see there's a window that they're requesting to remove here. On the south side, eliminate a set of double windows and remove the middle window from a row of 3. So this is on the back side, again, another entry. They're requesting to remove that middle window in the row of 3 and remove the double windows altogether. Where that double window is, on the opposite side of the home, there is that last rear entry and 3 other windows into that same room. So they're trying to eliminate some of that. On the west side, eliminate the middle window in the same location as the requested east side window. So on each side of the home, they'd be removing the one window from the middle of the structure. The new roof would be 30-year architectural shingles in black. All of the remaining windows would be replaced with 1/1 windows to match the existing size. Staff is recommending approval of the request with the following conditions. All applicable permits and inspections be obtained through the Building Codes Department. Additional information, this property was orange tagged by the Demo Department in 2015 and 17, where the previous owner did minimum required to bring the structure into compliance.
Okay, any questions of staff?
On this window removal on the side on this picture, are those 2 windows there currently, and they're going to remove one? I can't tell what's next to.
It's, from what I understand and what I could tell, it was just one singular window, and with the information they gave, it was just one window. In your packets, they have a breakdown of where they actually drew which windows they'd be removing. It might be a little easier to tell on there versus their angles from what angles I could get.
Okay, any other questions of staff?
But what is the size of the siding now? It doesn't look like it's 7-inch siding to me.
Yeah, right now it's about a 2-inch reveal on that siding. And as you can see, a lot of it is missing on the uppers on both this side and the other side. And I think for construction purposes, they're just going to replace all of it, or they're requesting to replace all of it, but it would be a larger reveal.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions of staff?
Is this an example of what it would look like?
Okay. Okay, is the applicant in the audience? The applicant's not in the audience. Okay, is there a discussion or a motion regarding this one?
Can we go back to the front? Yeah, thank you. So they're not asking to do anything on the front at all?
The front would remain as the same. Left side, they would remove the front entry and that middle singular window. Rear, remove the one window in the middle of the three and the set of double windows on that side where that rear entry is,
Okay.
and same single window.
So the only thing that's visible from the street is just this one window.
So this one window, technically, these from the back, because it is a corner lot, so it's a side street. So you can see this. And then this is on Broadway, so this is just to the left of the front. So you can see almost everything that they're asking to remove.
Okay, is there any more discussion or is there a motion?
I got a question here.
Yes, sir.
So you say they're replacing the siding on the house? They're gonna replace the
They're
entire-
requesting to replace the siding, so it would go from this smaller 2-inch reveal that you see here to a larger 7-inch reveal that you can see in your packet.
Okay, and so when they're taking away those windows and doors, there's just gonna be siding there?
Yes, sir.
I think it's great that they're renovating because it looks like they're going back to some of the original structures. Somewhere along the line, they made it into multiple tenant rental property. So it seems as they're going back to their original construction. Do you know when this house was built originally?
I do not. I do know that the previous owner owned it since the 80s. So he had it from the 80s till the early 2020s when he sold it, and it changed hands a few times until this developer got it.
So I
New
think
developer, I'm sorry. The new developer, what are their plans with the house? Is it gonna be? a
Single family.
Single-family home?
Yes, sir.
the improvements are great for Old Town to see this type of investment and for the improvements. I wish that the siding wasn't such a size difference because it seems like it's taken away from the original architecture of the home. So it makes it like a completely different type of home when this is very historical. So I don't know if we can separate the motion to, I would like, do y'all have any other discussion or do you agree with what I'm saying, where I'm going? So I think removing the windows that obviously had been, and multiple doors had been added through the years, going back to the original concept. But I think the siding will make it look like a completely different type of home.
And you can add condition too. So if you feel that that 7-inch reveal is not appropriate, as the commission, you can put additional conditions on there.
And what is the current width?
I was guesstimating about a 2-inch reveal. So just based on what it looks like and what we've seen in the past.
So your suggestion, go back with the original size? Or,
Are similar, not as wide as what
That is
they're
wide.
proposing.
Even a 4-inch would be better than a
Yeah.
7-inch.
Yep.
okay, is there a motion on the floor?
Well, Elena, would they have to then come back to us and see what their options are in sizing?
So if you conditioned it with an approval of a 4-inch reveal, that could just be a condition of their approval. They don't have to come back for you. If you deny it outright, they could bring us back. If they don't go to a 2-inch, they could bring it back and come back before you for a different request. So it's however the commission feels to move forward.
Is the owner here? They're not here. I mean, I hate to make them do work, but again, we're trying, the purpose of the,
Integrity of the.
yeah, the purpose of this this commission is to keep the integrity of the original home. And so it would be changing it completely, so.
And if you do condition for, say, example, that you're discussing the 4-inch and they choose not to go with that, they can bring another request before you.
How about just making the motion to say closer to the original size of the siding and then.
See what their
whatever-
options are.
See what their option, because if you limit to 4, maybe they could do 5. I mean, I don't know what
Yeah, I don't know.
size the
I think
siding
we would
comes.
need to be specific.
And this is when I wish our
Honest
architect,
here
John, was here, because he would know
Yeah,
he
he
know all the
knows.
sizes.
He knows.
He knows what's available and what's not.
Well, as she said, whatever condition we set, if they can't match that, they can
They'll
come
come
back to
back.
the commission.
Okay, are you going to make a motion there, ma'am?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we accept PZ 2023-266, that the removal of the windows and doors is approved, but the, with the condition that the new siding reveal is closer to the 2-inch that is currently there.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving along to our next one, PZ 2023-268.
John Stone is requesting permission to add onto the existing garage at his home located at 2495 Gladys. The addition to the garage will be constructed with materials to match the existing structure, and the new portion would be 13 and a half feet wide and, oh, I'm sorry, I can't read my writing, 20 feet deep? Sorry, 20 feet deep. And will meet the requirements of an accessory structure provided by our ordinance. Staff recommends approval of the request with the following conditions. 1, all applicable permits and inspections be obtained through the Building Codes Department. The house is not listed in the Spare Beaumont survey, and the applicant is in the audience. On your screen, this is the subject property from Gladys. This is the garage on the side street. From my understanding, the addition will be behind the fence, so we won't really see.
Okay,
Questions?
thank you. Any questions of staff? Okay, Mr. Stone, would you like to come forward and give us your name and address, please, sir?
I don't want to, but unfortunately, my own actions have forced me to. My name is John Stone. I've been here for 13 years. I've been with the fire department for 28 years, 10 of those years right there at number 7s in Old Town, 8 before that downtown, responding to Old Town. Unfortunately, if you'll go back a slide, that is the addition. The addition was already put on. The plans were made. It was due to my misunderstanding. I did not come before this board. I did go down to get the permit. That's when I found out we had been moved. Unfortunately, with me working for the fire department, I'm gone for 24-hour shifts. I'm gone overnight. My wife is in the house by herself. She has an autoimmune disease that is a degenerative arthritis. Having to unload the truck every night, bring everything in by herself, outside by herself. I just can't have that when I'm at work. I was offered an opportunity by the construction guys to come early, which put me before the meeting that I would have needed, and I took it without knowing. And it was right before the construction started that I found out I needed this, and we just went ahead and did it. It was only about 8 hours later that they were coming. So I did go ahead and do the construction, and I'm just here to beg forgiveness.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Stone?
So the existing driveway
The existing driveway,
was
the
already
driveway
there.
hasn't changed.
You didn't change that.
It's
Just
the white door in front of the Expedition. The reason it's still white is because when I realized what I had done, we stopped everything. That door will be painted black like the other door so that it matches as closely as possible. The siding is the same. Roof structure is the same. It's actually in the same shape as the house. We did go as close as we could to make it match, not for any other reason than to make it look nice.
Okay, and one of the things that we've discovered is that not all of the residents of the Oaks Historic District have received the rules. And so that's part of the situation that we have where people are not aware of, they must get permission in advance. So, but
We went online when we first bought the house. It was my understanding that because I was on a corner lot, that the rules were a little bit different in what you could have in what I would consider to be the backyard, how things can be seen. It was completely my misunderstanding, but then again, I didn't take the time to look any deeper to find out if I was right, so.
okay, thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Stone? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Anyone? Okay. Do we have a motion or discussion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve PZ 2023-268.
Is there a second? Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, none. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Stone. Okay, we're going next to PZ 2023-299.
Boyd Meyer, building official, is requesting a certificate of demolition for the home at 2377 Ashley. While the commission saw this property in March for a rehabilitation, the work done to the structure since that approval has left it to being in imminent danger in surrounding properties. The structure has been left gutted, unleveled, missing walls, floors, and extensive damage to the frame. The property was originally tagged for property maintenance December 8th of 2022. There is an error on your staff report on that. I apologize. They enrolled in a work program to repair the structure. This allows them 150 days to make the minor repairs that it had been tagged for. On January 31st, a stop work order was posted as work could begin without the required permit. On February 6th, the foundation permit was approved to level the structure. On February 10th, a discovery repair permit was approved. This allowed them to open up the structure on the inside and determine the work to be done. On March 6th, the contractor and the building officials walked the property. On March 13th, a certificate of appropriateness was brought before the Historic Landmark Commission for approval. On April 19th, owner was emailed a detail list of how to move forward with the city. On May 11th, the contractor had a pre-development meeting where each department detailed the items that were needed to move forward. On June 7th, the contractor formally removed himself from the project. On June 8th, the structure was red tagged. Shortly after the structure was red tagged, our demolition coordinator sent a notice to the owner to board and secure the structure. And as of yesterday, that had not been completed. They had a deadline of August 28th to complete that board and secure. And based on the extensive repairs needed for this structure, building code staff is recommending a raise order. Planning staff is recommending approval of that request. This house is not listed in spare. We mailed out 15 property owner notices, receiving 3 in response. 1 just stating yes, that they owned the property next door. 1 stating yes, I think this house needs to be tore down. And 1 stating yes, just signed by Mr. Sam Parigi.
Okay,
There's some more.
okay, one moment, sir. We're still in our formal meeting here. Okay, is there any questions of staff? I do have a question regarding your June 7th, contractor formally removes himself from job. What does that really mean?
So when we pull permits, there's the option, like say a contractor comes in for you, pulls a permit to do the roof on your house. You're not satisfied with the quality or speed or something of his work. You can come in as the homeowner, write us a note, and remove that contractor from your job to allow another contractor to pull the permit. It works in reverse as well. This contractor removed himself from the permit because he was no longer in well with the job. He decided to remove himself. He no longer wanted to be affiliated with the permit.
Because he's not being paid or something?
I'm not sure. On the screen, this is the image from the March meeting where we discussed the property. The following images are from Friday. So this is the left side of the front. You can see the window's been removed. This is where the frame and frontage has been removed. And then you can see here the bottom windows that they were removing to repair and build up the brick. This is the state it's been left in.
Has there been any contact at all from the owner? And that's who we met last time, correct, or in March?
Yes, the owner was here last time,
Right.
and our last conversation with him was April, from what I understand from the building official. He was going to be here today. I apologize. He had to leave at 4. But that's the last conversation any of our departments have had.
But he's not here today.
No, he is not here.
Okay. Any other questions, staff?
Is he aware that this is happening
Yes.
today?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I say, we have sent letters and emails and they've gone unresponsive.
So as far as I can't see the roof really from here, so is the roof sound? I mean, is the only thing wrong with the structure the missing windows, or is there more wrong? I'm a little confused. I mean, I see the other side there, but it was the foundation work done?
No, ma'am, it was not completed.
Okay, yeah, the permit was approved, but they didn't actually do the foundation work.
There's been, I believe, one of the inspections was just like with the pull-out work where they pull the dirt, and there's not been completed inspections for any of the permits they pulled.
Okay.
Okay, another, go ahead.
The current owner, how long has he owned this property?
About a year.
About a year.
If another person comes in and says, I want to purchase this property and get it back to where it can be, where will we be with this?
So I don't know if y'all
Position.
recall the North Street property, 2098 North. It was a very similar project. It was a red tag property brought before you. There was an interested buyer. They can buy the property as is, and they do have that opportunity. They can file a TRO and get to where the city cannot tear it down immediately. But to do so, they also have to pull the demolition repair permit, which only gives them 150 days to completely secure and repair the structure up to code.
How about
That
back
new
taxes?
owner would have to come in before us.
Yes, they have to come before us, and they would, like Ms. Bell said, include paying back taxes or any debts owed.
Okay, this is no taxes owed, but they would contact the existing owner.
Yes.
Correct, okay. Okay, any other questions of staff?
How old is this home?
I've dated it
Like it
back
was
to
a
at
beautiful home at one time.
least 70s.
I mean, it looks like it was a very beautiful home at one time. It looked like it was something
I think
probably
like
to see.
fifties, late forties, fifties. Most of the homes on that street were built in the thirties and forties.
Just by going off of the Polk Dictionary's records, would say we can date it back to at least the early 70s.
Okay. Okay, the applicant is not in the audience. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Either of you gentlemen, if you'd like to come forward and give us your name and address. Okay, come on up. That's okay, come on up.
Right next door,
And your name and address, sir.
Trent Jenkins, 2385 Ashley.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jenkins.
The house has been a problem for decades now, and this was the final straw as far as we know. We just hope that it's demolished, and because it's affected every other property in the block. That's all I have to say.
Okay,
And the owner has sent approval for that too.
all right, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to speak? Yes, sir, may we get your name and address, please?
Charles Patrick Carroll, 2343 Ashley Street. Trent and George live right next door. Do you have a picture of their house? Yes, sir, I do. Well, Elena, I'm very disappointed in you, not for that. That is far, far, far from the most current picture of this structure. I sent you an email, Elena, saying have a current picture.
I took this
Windows
photo
are all
Friday,
gone.
Mr. Charles.
Plastic is all blown out. That
It's
entire
okay,
place-
Sir, can you just let's direct the questions to us, please. And, well, do you have any comments?
Yes, the gutters are all blown off from that last storm. If you remember that lightning storm we had at midnight about 6 weeks ago? All the plastic, all those studs no longer reframed. Those windows are all gone. Can you scan to the left?
It's not a live picture, just so commission is aware. I took these
That's not
photos
even
Friday.
close to a picture of the current condition of that structure.
So if this photo was taken Friday,
Yeah.
Not even close. That picture was taken 3 months.
So,
All the studs in the garage are removed. The only thing that's supporting that garage header is that far right column, which was butchered. If you take a look, can you take the stylus and put it on that side of and then down, straight down. Down right there. There you go. That's just a bunch of 2x4s pieced in to support that house. Same identical situation, just behind that bush. There is no, I've got all kinds of information, by the way, these are additional signatures.
Okay. Mr. Carroll, so you're telling us that you are in favor of,
Absolutely.
okay, all right, sir. And I appreciate that, and I think we're going to move on. We've got your list, and we understand that you are definitely in favor of tearing this down.
That's correct. I also
you.
submitted a petition with 35 property owners. This community meeting here, I don't recognize anybody here that was here.
I live on Ashley Street, and I haven't seen your,
Have you seen the petition?
no,
My
sir.
mother-in-law lives on Ashley Street,
None
and
of
I
us
have
have
not
seen it.
heard of this.
Petition? 35 property owners. Elena, do you have a copy?
This is the packet that was passed around last meeting at March, when Mr. Carroll spoke then.
Then we saw that at the March meeting.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Carroll, thank you. We fully understand your feelings.
I'm not done yet talking about that structure.
But, sir, you've made it very clear that you are ready for this to be torn down, and I appreciate that, and I believe we all have your
You
understanding.
need to read Mickey Phelan's letter. I'm going to read it to you right now. He lives right there.
No, sir, we don't want to hear Mickey Phelan's letter.
Mickey Phelan
Sir,
is out of town. Okay, this is his letter to me this morning. As the owner of 2369 has directly left, he shares the
Turn his
property.
mic off. He not
I
using it.
definitely want
how do I turn his mic off?
to demolish it at the earliest possible.
I think it's out of order.
City Council. Roy West was there. I previously addressed the City
Carroll,
Council regarding.
Mr. Carroll, that's enough. We understand, sir. You aren't in control of the meeting. We need to vote on it. We totally understand how you
I
feel.
want to keep speaking. You were talking about selling it to somebody else.
Sir,
Mr. Carroll, if you'd like to have a seat, I'll visit with you after the meeting.
That house would cost twice as much to renovate as bulldoze it and start over.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Carroll. We appreciate your input. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor or in opposition?
Is there a written
Sir,
submitted to them?
sir, the public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion or a discussion?
I make a motion
Tear it down tomorrow.
that we,
Go ahead.
it's PC 2023-299 for demolition of 2377 Ashley.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the demolition and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Okay, our next section is the Historic District Code Enforcement Report.
Hi, I have the July monthly report. We had 10 new historic violations, 1 historic reinspection, 3 new JV violations, 3 JV reinspections, 1 JV tagged for removal, 11 new litter violations, 28 litter reinspections, 49 weed violations, 131 weed re-inspections, 72 city cut re-inspections, 8 owner compliance cuts, 2 general nuisance violations, and 2 general nuisance re-inspections, 1 zoning violation and 2 zoning re-inspections, to a total of 324 inspections.
Wow, you've been busy. Okay, is there any other information we need to discuss? If not, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
I had an announcement.
Oh.
I wanted to thank Elena for attending our Oaks Historic District 30th anniversary meeting and for speaking to the group. I know Shay wasn't able to attend, but she's very active in the community, and he just left, but I wanted to thank Mayor West for also being in attendance, Councilman Durio, and Councilman Getz. So we appreciate your presence, and I hope you see that we're very serious about renovations and the historic integrity of the Oaks Historic District. So thank you.
Can't read that letter.